I pushed open the bedroom door, half smiling, ready to surprise Daniel. Daniel, my voice broke. Sheets rustled. Clara's voice gasped. Wait, my best friend, my fiancé, together. Daniel sat up, eyes wide. It's not what it looks like, I laughed bitterly. Not what it looks like. Daniel, she's naked in your bed. Clara scrambled to cover herself. Please listen. I never meant. My chest felt like it was splitting open. How long has this been going on? Daniel reached for me. A few weeks. I didn't want you to find out. Like this, I pulled back. Like this? You mean walking in on my fiancé screwing my best friend? Clara's lip trembled. I was weak. I should have stopped. You have to believe me, believe you? I shook my head. You were the one person I trusted. Both of you. Daniel's jaw tightened. We didn't plan this. It just happened. I stared at him, stunned. Love doesn't just happen. On accident. You chose this. He dropped his gaze. I fell in love with her. The words punched the air out of my lungs. Say that again. I love Clara, he whispered. Clara clutched his hand, tears sliding down her cheeks. I didn't want to hurt you. You're like a sister to me, don't call me that. I snapped. Sisters don't crawl into each other's beds. Silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. Daniel sighed. I didn't want you to find out like this. I thought maybe you'd understand. Understand? My voice cracked. You want me to understand that you destroyed everything I believed in? Clara shook her head desperately. It's not about destroying anything. We couldn't fight it. I stepped back, numb. So I lose my fiancé and my best friend in one night. Perfect. Daniel tried again, softer. Please, don't make this ugly. I laughed, a hollow sound. Too late for that. Don't you think? He opened his mouth, but I raised my hand. Don't. Every word out of you makes me hate you more. Clara sobbed. Please, don't leave like this. I don't want to lose you completely. You lost me the second you touched him. Daniel muttered. You'll move on. You're strong. I froze, staring at the man I thought I'd marry. Strong? Daniel, you broke me. And you expect me to smile and move on? He looked away. It's better this way, I whispered, trembling. Better for who? Certainly not me. Clara whispered. We're sorry. I turned to the door. My legs shook, but I forced them forward. Save your apologies. One day, you'll regret this. Daniel called after me. Don't walk away. I didn't answer. I stepped into the hall, closed the door, and let the sound of their silence burn into me. That night, I swore something to myself. If they thought I would collapse, they were wrong. A part of me had died, yes, but another, stronger part had just been born. Daniel followed me into the living room, half-dressed, desperation all over his face. Please, don't go, he begged. Just listen to me. I spun around. Listen? To what? How you betrayed me. He grabbed my wrist. I didn't mean for this to happen. I fell in love with her. The words echoed in my head like poison. You fell in love? As if it's some accident you tripped into? Clara stumbled in, her eyes red, clutching the sheet around her. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I swear I never wanted to hurt you. I glared at her. Hurt me? You slept with him. That wasn't an accident, that was a choice. She sobbed, reaching out. You have to believe me. I fought it. I really did. But I pulled back sharply. Don't touch me. Don't you dare cry like you're the victim. Daniel's voice cracked. We didn't plan it. I tried to fight it too, but the feelings stopped. My throat burned. Don't you dare make this sound romantic. This isn't love, it's betrayal. Clara whimpered. We couldn't control it. I laughed bitterly. Control? You controlled it every time you lied to my face. Every time you smiled at me while sneaking behind my back. Daniel looked down, guilt flickering across his face. I wanted to tell you. I just didn't know how. You could have started with honesty, I spat. Instead, you let me dream of a wedding that would never happen. Clara stepped closer, trembling. I still love you. In a way. You mean everything to me. My chest tightened. Love? If this is your version of love, I want nothing to do with it. Daniel whispered, almost pleading. Please, don't hate us. Maybe one day, you'll understand. I stared at him, stunned. Understand? That the two people I trusted most stabbed me in the back. No, Daniel, I'll never understand that. He reached out again. I didn't want to lose you completely. You already did. Silence swallowed the room. I could hear only my heartbeat, fast and uneven. Clara whispered through her tears. We didn't mean for you to find out like this. I clenched my fists. You thought you could hide forever? Lies have a way of showing their ugly face. Daniel's shoulders slumped. You're stronger than this. You'll move on. His calmness enraged me. Stronger? You think I'll just walk away quietly while you to play house with my life? Clara cried harder. Please, don't hate me. I stared at her shaking. Figure, my former best friend, the woman who knew all my secrets, now using them to destroy me. Finally, I whispered, my voice low but sharp. I don't hate you. Hate would mean you still matter. I feel nothing, but one day, you'll regret this. Both of you. Daniel swallowed hard. Don't say that. I already did. I turned and walked out, leaving their voices behind. They thought I was broken, finished, but inside, a fire burned. I would rise, and they would fall. Did you hear? My cousin whispered over the phone. Clara said you attacked her after catching her with Daniel. I gripped the receiver. Attacked her? She's the one who stole him from me. She swore you're unstable. People are saying you imagined half of it. I bit down hard. She lies, and everyone believes her. Silence. Then softly, it's better if I don't get involved. The line went dead. At dinner, I turned to my mother. You believe me, don't you? She lowered her gaze. We don't want trouble. Maybe it's best to let it go. My father cleared his throat. Relationships fail all the time. Move on, child. My hands trembled on the table. They're slandering me. Don't you care? We can't pick sides, my mother murmured. I pushed back my chair. You just did. The next week, I ran into an old friend at the market. She smirked. Clara says you're obsessed with Daniel, that you can't let go. I stared at her. Do I look obsessed? Or do I look like someone who was stabbed in the back? She shrugged. People believe her. She's convincing. I laughed bitterly. Of course she is. That's how. She fooled me for years. Bills piled up on my desk. Rent overdue. Electricity cut off once already. My landlord knocked, arms crossed. How long are you planning to stay without paying? I'll get the money soon. You said that last month. No more excuses. I swallowed hard. Just give me time. He shook his head. 2 weeks. After that, you're out. The door slammed, leaving the echo of failure behind. Nights were the worst. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, whispering into the dark. Why me? Why did they win while I lost everything? No answer came, only the sound of my sobs. But one night, after the tears dried, I clenched my fists. No more crying. If no one will fight for me, I'll fight for myself. When Clara paraded past me on the street in a new car, she smiled sweetly. Still surviving? She mocked. I met her gaze. Don't get too comfortable. Thrones don't last forever. Her smirk faltered. Are you threatening me? Take it however you want. She scoffed. You're pathetic. Daniel chose me. Accept it. I leaned closer. Enjoy it while it lasts. One day, you'll choke on the lies you spread. Her laugh rang sharp, but I saw the flicker of fear in her eyes. That night, I sat alone, staring at the pile of unpaid bills. Yes, I've lost my family's support. Yes, the world thinks I'm crazy. My reflection in the cracked mirror stared back, but I'm not finished. The words felt like steel in my mouth. I will rise, and when I do, they'll regret every word, every lie, every betrayal. Rain drizzled outside the cafe as I sat on the curb, hugging my knees. My face was buried in my hands, tears dripping onto the pavement. A deep voice cut through my sobs. You planning to flood the whole street with those tears? I looked up. A man in a charcoal suit stood over me, sharp eyes narrowing. I sniffed. Go away. I don't need advice from a stranger. He smirked faintly. Doesn't look like advice is what you need. Looks like you need rent money. My cheeks burned. Excuse me? He crouched down, meeting my eyes. Cry all you want, but tears won't pay your bills. What's your plan? Keep crying until the landlord feels sorry for you? I shot him. A glare. You don't know anything about me. True, he said evenly, but I know desperation when I see it. And you're drowning in it. My throat tightened. Why are you even talking to me? He straightened, adjusting his watch. Because I hate wasted potential. And right now, you look like someone who's already given up. His bluntness cut deeper than pity ever could. Maybe I have. Then congratulations, he replied coldly. Daniel and Clara win. You're exactly what they wanted. Broken. My eyes widened. How do you know their names? He arched a brow. Small city. Scandals travel fast. I wrapped my arms tighter around myself. Then you must also know they destroyed me. He studied me for a long moment. No, you destroyed yourself by letting them. The words stung like knives. You don't understand, I don't need to, he interrupted. Life isn't fair. People betray. People lie. The only question is whether you let it bury you or force it to make you stronger. I swallowed hard. And what do you care? Why lecture a stranger? Because I see something in you, he said calmly. Fire under all that mess. But fire without control burns everything down. You need direction, I scoffed. And I suppose you're going to give it? He smiled faintly. I'm Ethan, businessman, investor. I don't hand out charity, but I teach people who are worth my time. The question is, are you? My breath caught. Why me? Because most people would have run home to hide. You're still here, sitting in the rain, angry at the world. Anger can be fuel if you use it right. I hesitated, staring at the puddles around my shoes. What if I fail? Then you fail, he said simply. But at least you'll fail trying, not crying. Silence stretched. Then, almost against my will, I asked, what would I have to do? His gaze locked on mine. Work harder than you've ever worked. Learn, fight, stop living as their victim. If you're ready, come tomorrow at 8, my office. If not, keep crying. Either way, I won't stop for you again. He turned to leave. Something inside me shifted. For the first time in months, I whispered to myself, maybe I don't have to stay broken. Ethan dropped a stack of files on the desk in front of me. Numbers don't lie. People do. Learn the difference. I flipped through them, overwhelmed. These contracts, I don't even understand half the terms. He leaned back. Then learn. No one's going to translate survival for you. I bit my lip. What if I mess this up? He shrugged. You will. Everyone does. The difference is whether you quit after failing. 2 weeks later, I slammed the file shut. I can't do this. Ethan raised a brow. Then go back to crying outside cafes. Maybe Daniel will pity you. My fists clenched. Don't mention his name. Then stop acting like the girl he left behind, Ethan snapped. Do you want to prove them wrong or not? The fire in my chest roared. I do. Then get back to work. Late at night, I sat in the empty office. Papers spread around me. Tears blurred the numbers. I whispered to myself, why am I so stupid? Why can't I get this right? The door creaked. Ethan stepped in. Crying again? I wiped my face quickly. No, he studied me. You're not stupid. You're just scared. Fear makes people quit before they win. I don't want to quit, I said softly. Good. Then remember, knowledge isn't handed to you. You fight for it. One morning, he tossed me a folder. Your first negotiation. Small contract. Don't screw it up. My eyes widened. Me? Alone? Yes. Unless you'd rather hide behind me forever. I straightened my back. No, I'll do it. The meeting room felt like a battlefield. The client eyed me skeptically. You're new, aren't you? I forced a smile. New, yes. Unprepared, no. Here's what we can offer. An hour later, after fumbling, correcting myself, and nearly giving away too much, I walked out shaking. Ethan waited in the hall. Well, I think I blew it. He took the signed papers from my hand, smirking. Looks like you didn't. My jaw dropped. They signed? Not perfect, he admitted. But you held your ground. That's more than most do there. First time. I clutched the folder. I actually did it. Congratulations, Ethan said dryly. You're officially less pathetic than yesterday. I laughed, breathless. Coming from you, that's high praise. That night, lying in my tiny apartment, I stared at the ceiling. For the first time in months, the weight on my chest lifted. I whispered to myself. I closed my first deal. I stood on my own. Daniel's face flashed in my mind. Claire's smug smile beside him. Someday, I murmured, they'll see what I've become. For the first time since the betrayal, I didn't feel broken. I felt alive. The hotel ballroom buzzed with polished laughter and clinking glasses. I adjusted the event files in my hands when a familiar voice sliced through the noise. Well, if it isn't the tragic ex, I froze. Daniel. Claire's heels clicked as she joined him, her dress glittering. She smirked. Still working these little jobs, I see. Chasing pennies? I studied my breath. At least I earned mine honestly. Daniel chuckled. Still sharp-tongued. You never did know how to play soft, did you? Clara leaned closer. To him, loud enough for me to hear. Poor thing. Imagine going from his fiancé to serving hors d'oeuvres at company events. I tilted my head, forcing a smile. Better than going from mistress to housewife, don't you think? Her eyes narrowed. Watch your mouth. Why? I asked coolly. Afraid the truth will stain your diamonds? Daniel's jaw tightened. You should let go of the past. Move on. We have. I laughed softly. Oh, I've moved on. You'd be surprised how far. Clara's laugh rang, shrill and mocking. Moved on? Into what? Filing papers? Running errands? I leaned in slightly. Into something you wouldn't understand. It requires real work. Her lips curled. Jealousy makes you delusional. No, I said quietly, locking eyes with her. Betrayal makes me stronger. Daniel scoffed. Strength won't buy you a future. Neither will stolen love. I shot back. He stiffened, but Clara squeezed his arm. Come on, darling. She's pathetic. Let's not waste champagne on her. They turned to leave. My pulse hammered, but I forced calm. Enjoy the show while it lasts. I called after them. Storms don't announce themselves, they arrive. Daniel paused for a fraction of a second before walking on. Clara tugged him away with a smirk plastered across her face. The event lights dimmed as speeches began. I slipped to the side of the room, heart racing, but I didn't cry this time. Ethan appeared beside me, holding 2 glasses of water. You look like you just fought ghosts. I exhaled. They're not ghosts. They're parasites. Did they rattle you? He asked. Only enough to remind me why I'm here, I muttered. He studied me. Then good. Use it. Hate is fuel. But don't let it drive the car. You steer, not them. I nodded slowly. I'm not here to chase pennies. I'm here to build the storm that will wash them out. Ethan smirked faintly. Finally, you sound like someone worth betting on. Later, as the crowd applauded another speaker, I caught sight of Claire's glittering dress across the room. Her laugh carried, mocking, familiar. I didn't flinch this time. I held my head high. They have no idea, I whispered to myself. No idea what's coming. And for the first time, the sight of them didn't break me, it ignited me. The whispers started small. In boardrooms, in cafes, even in elevators where people forgot I was there. Daniel's numbers don't add up. Clara spends more than the company makes. They look rich, but it's a fraud. Each rumor reached my ears like music, but I never let it show. One evening, Ethan slid a folder across the table. Their latest quarter. Losses hidden under flashy reports. I skimmed the papers, my chest tightening with satisfaction. So, the cracks are real. They're widening, he said. Pride blinds faster than failure. I smirked. And Claire's pride could blind an entire city. Ethan leaned back. You don't need to strike yet. Let them dig their own grave. I wasn't planning to, I replied calmly. Watching them choke on their arrogance is better than revenge. He raised an eyebrow. Careful. Bitterness can rot you too. It's not bitterness, I said. It's clarity. For once, I don't have to fight them. They're fighting themselves. Weeks later, at another networking dinner, I overheard 2 women at the bar whispering. Clara threw a fit over a dress not being custom enough, and Daniel? He begged. Investors for cash last week. I let their words sink in, sipping my drink. Clara's laugh rang from across the hall, loud, brittle, desperate. Ethan found me by the balcony. You heard, didn't you? Every word, I said, eyes fixed on the skyline. Funny how their perfect kingdom is built on sand. He studied me. And where's your kingdom built? I met his gaze. On numbers, patience, and people underestimating me. He chuckled. Good. Keep it that way. At midnight, Clara stormed past me, phone pressed to her ear. I don't care, Daniel. Fix it. I will not be embarrassed in front of them. Her voice cracked as she disappeared into the crowd. I whispered to myself, the shine is fading. Days later, Ethan handed me another document. Your investment in Solaris paid off. Triple return. I stared at the numbers, my throat tightening. So soon? He nodded. Quiet moves make the loudest echoes. For a moment, I felt the rush of standing on solid ground again, powerful, unshaken. Do you feel it? He asked. Yes, I breathed. For the first time, I'm not surviving. I'm rising. Ethan smirked. Then remember, don't just rise above them. Rise so high they can't even see you. That night, lying awake, I replayed Claire's brittle laugh and Daniel's strained smile. They were unraveling without me lifting a finger, and I slowly, steadily was becoming untouchable. The auction hall buzzed with tension. I kept my posture steady, heart pounding as the bidding began. 5 million, Daniel called smoothly. I raised my hand. 6. His eyes flicked toward me, a faint smirk tugging his lips. 7. 8, I countered. Clara leaned close to him, whispering loud enough for me to hear. Don't let her humiliate you. Daniel's jaw tightened. 9. The auctioneer's hammer hovered. Do I hear 10? I lifted my paddle. 10. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Daniel hesitated. His pride screamed for another bid, but his hesitation was louder. The hammer came down. Sold. My chest swelled as I signed the papers. The ink bled across the page, sealing not just the deal, but something far deeper. Daniel stormed toward me, Clara dragging behind him in her glittering heels. You think this makes you powerful? He spat. I smiled, pen still in hand. It makes me prepared. You should have been faster. Clara's eyes narrowed like blades. You're nothing but a vulture circling what others built. I looked her straight in the eye. No, Clara. I'm building something of my own. You just don't see it yet. Daniel slammed his fist against the table. That property was mine. Correction, I said softly, holding up the signed deed. It's mine now. Clara hissed, her voice dripping venom. You'll regret this. I leaned closer, my voice calm. Business is business. For the first time, I saw it, the flicker in Daniel's eyes. Not arrogance, not amusement, fear. Outside, the evening air was sharp. Ethan was waiting, his expression unreadable. You did it, he said. I exhaled, adrenaline rushing through me. I thought he'd push higher. He couldn't, Ethan replied. He's stretched thin. You hit him where it hurts most. I grinned, my hands trembling. Then this isn't just property. It's a statement. Exactly, Ethan said. Now they know you're not a shadow. You're a player. I nodded, clutching the papers to my chest. For so long, I was the one left behind. Tonight, I was the one walking ahead. Later, as I left the building, Clara's voice sliced through the night. You'll never be more than a bitter ex with money. I stopped, turning slowly. And you'll never be more than a woman afraid I'll take everything you thought was yours. Her face flushed with rage, but Daniel pulled her back. His silence spoke louder than any insult. As their car disappeared, I whispered to myself, you underestimated me once. Never again. The weight of victory settled into my bones, not loud, not flashy, but solid. And for the first time since he betrayed me, I didn't feel broken. I felt unstoppable. The headlines hit like thunder. Daniel Harper's investors pull out. I sipped my coffee, the taste sharper than usual. The office. Whispers floated around me. Have you heard? A colleague muttered. His empire's collapsing. I smiled faintly. Empires built on arrogance always do. Later that evening, Ethan dropped by my new mansion. The chandeliers above us glowed like trophies. Not bad, he teased, glancing around. Bigger than anything Clara's ever flaunted. I laughed, setting down my glass. That's the point. Daniel's bleeding money, Ethan said. Clara's spending doesn't help. I leaned back in my chair. She always loved silk more than sense. The doorbell rang. To my surprise, Clara stood there, face pale, lips trembling. Well, I said coolly, karma knocks louder than expected. She crossed her arms. Don't get smug. Daniel will recover. I raised an eyebrow. Recover? When even his investors have abandoned him. Her voice cracked. He just needs time. Or maybe, I said softly, he just needs to face what he's done. She glared, but the confidence was gone. Why are you here, Clara? I pressed. Her silence stretched before she muttered. Because I know you're behind this. I laughed, the sound echoing through the grand hall. Behind this? I didn't need to lift a finger. You and Daniel are destroying yourselves. Her cheeks flushed. You think you're better than me now? No, I replied, leaning closer. I know I am. She stormed out, heels clattering against marble, leaving her anger behind. Later, Ethan found me gazing out at the city lights from my balcony. Why did she come here? He asked. To convince herself I'm pulling the strings, I said. But the truth scares her more. It's their own pride eating them alive. Ethan smirked. And while they fall, you rise. I let the silence answer. 2 days later, at a charity gala, I spotted Daniel. His once polished suit looked strained, his face tight with exhaustion. Daniel, I greeted smoothly, his eyes darkened. Enjoying yourself? Are you? Immensely. I replied. The champagne tastes better when you're not the one paying for it. Clara tugged at his arm, hissing. Don't make a scene. But Daniel snapped, voice loud enough for the crowd. She ruined me. Gasps rippled. I tilted my head. You ruined yourself, Daniel. I just happened to watch. The room buzzed with whispers. Clara turned scarlet, yanking him toward the exit. When they were gone, a woman approached me. One of the very people who once dismissed me. Miss, she said, lowering her head, I misjudged you. I smiled, not unkindly. Many did. As I stood there, I realized the shift. No longer the abandoned, humiliated woman, I was the one others respected, feared, and acknowledged. Karma had knocked on Daniel's door, but for me, it had opened one. The night was quiet, my mansion bathed in silver moonlight. I was about to retire when faint footsteps echoed beyond the gate. I froze. Who would come here at this hour? I whispered to myself, pulling a shawl tighter around my shoulders. A figure stumbled into view. Daniel. His suit was wrinkled, his hair disheveled, and a bottle dangled from his hand. Open the gate, he shouted, voice slurred. Please. My heart hammered, not from longing, but from the surreal sight. Slowly, I stepped forward. Daniel, my voice cut through the night. He lifted his head, tears streaking his face. It's me, I made a mistake. I stayed behind the bars, cold iron between us. You're drunk. Go home. This is my home, he cried, stumbling closer. You were my home, and I threw it away. His words echoed in the stillness. My chest tightened, but not with the pain I once felt. This was different. Don't romanticize what you destroyed, I said firmly. You chose her, Daniel. You chose greed. He dropped the bottle, glass shattering across the pavement. Then, to my shock, he fell to his knees. I should have chosen you, he whispered hoarsely. You loved me when no one else did, and I betrayed you. I gripped the gate tighter, my knuckles pale. And now you realize it? After everything? Yes. His voice cracked. Clara, she's gone. The money's gone. Everything's gone. But you're still standing. For a long moment, I said nothing, watching the man who once discarded me now reduced to rubble. I don't want your pity, he begged, forehead pressed to the bars. I just want forgiveness. A bitter laugh escaped me. Forgiveness? When you laughed as you left me with nothing. I was wrong, he whispered, trembling. Blind, stupid. Please, just let me in. The ache in my chest pulsed, not with desire but with a strange, bittersweet power. Once, I would have given everything to hear those words. Now, they sounded hollow. Too late. You broke me, Daniel, I said softly. But I rebuilt myself, stronger, without you. He looked up, eyes red, voice shaking. Don't shut me out. I have no one left. I met his gaze steadily. That's not my burden anymore. Silence stretched, broken only by the night wind. His shoulders sagged under the weight of rejection. Finally, he whispered, I deserve this. I exhaled, releasing years of grief in one breath. Yes, you do. Turning away, I stepped back toward the warmth of my mansion. Please, he shouted behind me, desperation clawing his voice. Just one more chance. I didn't answer. The gates remained closed, my back straight, my heart steady. Inside, I poured myself a glass of wine, the sound of his sobs faint in the distance. For the first time, I realized he had destroyed me once, but now, he was the one destroyed, and I was finally free. The first night had unsettled me, but when I heard the same cries again, I realized Daniel wasn't leaving. Please, just talk to me, he shouted from beyond the gate. His voice cracked through the night like a wounded animal. I leaned against the window frame, silent. Don't ignore me, he begged. I can't take this anymore. I lost everything. You're all I have left. The guards looked up at me, waiting. I shook my head. No one opens the gate. The next evening, his sobs returned. I'll wait all night if I have to. Please, I know I don't deserve it, but I need you. I whispered to myself. You needed me years ago. Not now. On the third night, the shouting wasn't his. Clara's shrill voice pierced the air. You ruined me, Daniel. You said I'd be safe with you. Their fight spilled into the street. Don't blame me. Daniel snapped back. You bled me dry. Clara screeched. And whose fault is it you lost everything? Hers. Her finger jabbed toward my mansion. That vulture. I slid the window open just enough for my voice to carry. Clara, you chose this bed. Lie in it. Her face twisted. You think you've won? I smiled faintly. I didn't need to win. You handed me the victory. Daniel reached for the gate, clutching the bars. Please, just one chance. I'll prove I've changed. I met his eyes through the darkness. And if I let you in, what then? You'll love me until something shinier comes along? No, Daniel, I've learned. He choked on his words, collapsing against the metal. I don't care if you hate me. Just don't shut me out. Clara spat at him. Pathetic. You begged me once too. Their argument spiraled Insults flying, both desperate, both broken. I closed the window, muting their chaos. My reflection stared back from the glass, calm, steady, untouchable. Night after night, the scene repeated, his pleading, her curses, their misery unraveling in front of my gate. But my resolve didn't waver. "Why don't you answer him?" my housekeeper asked gently one morning. "Because," I said, sipping my coffee, "I don't need to." She hesitated. "And if he never stops, then he becomes part of the night air," I replied. Noise I no longer hear. That evening, I stood at the window as Daniel sobbed once more. Clara stormed off into the shadows, cursing his name. He remained, a broken shell beneath the streetlight. I pressed my hand against the glass, whispering to myself, "This is what betrayal costs." Then I drew the curtains, shutting out the sight of him forever. The room filled with silence, clean, peaceful silence. For the first time in years, I felt no weight on my chest. I didn't need revenge. Their downfall was enough. I had already closed the door on them, and in doing so, I opened a new one for myself.